Hello friends, happy day today. I'm so glad you're here. Yesterday was very special and fun because I got to see even more friends. So I saw my mem spa friends, that's what I like to call us, right? That's my school. Do you want to hear a fun fact? I went to the same school that I teach at. Pretty cool. Today, I'm in my 6-year-old daughter's room. I call her Miss Kindergarten on here. Miss Kindergarten. Today, we are going to do a work of art that is very relaxing, I hope. And this one is good for all ages, all my friends. I want you to think about something first, though. I know it feels kind of strange that we're home and that we're supposed to stay home. And I want you to think about something that my mommy and daddy taught me when I was a little girl, which is to calm our bodies and feel the connection that everybody around the world is having this experience. So Mr. E, my husband, he's a history teacher, Mr. E, the history teacher, and he's right when he says that this is a moment in history, and someday you're gonna tell your grandchildren about this, and you'll be like an old lady or an old man or an old person, and you'll say, every day I saw my art teacher, Alexandra or Miss E or whatever you want to call me, and every day we made art together. So if you're one of my 4th grade or 5th grade students, and we were pretending we were at school, the first thing you would say to me is, can I sit in a chair? Today you can sit in a chair. You can sit on the floor. You can sit wherever you want. I'm gonna try to work with this red tray today. And again, I am starting with a Sharpie, but you can choose any material. I recommend probably a marker or a crayon. I'm feeling red today. Red's my favorite color. Do you know that? It's my favorite color because I'm very excited about life. So, today is all about lines. It kind of reminds me about this work of art that I made a long time ago for my daughter. So we're thinking about lines. I want you to take your finger right now, and I want you to put it in the air, and I want you to draw a line. What kind of line are you gonna make? You wanna do something silly? I'm gonna close my eyes and make my line, just to show you that I'm feeling brave today. Because here's the thing, I never thought that I would ever be on YouTube. I never ever thought that I would do this. And you know what I say in my classroom, and I say a lot to my kids? You have to be scared to be brave. So I'm being brave, and I can't hear you and I can't see you until you send me all your pictures. I want you to be brave, and I want all my friends to try this. Okay, ready? I'm gonna start at the edge. Am I done? I did it. Ooh, I like that one. Okay, so now that I've made my one line, it's time for a scotchy scotch. I'm going to repeat. What does it mean to repeat? What does it mean to repeat? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean to repeat? Your grown-ups would say, I don't want to repeat myself. Right? Like, how many reminders do you need to be a helper? That's another job you have today and this week, is to be a helper. So in this, I'm like the opposite. I want you to repeat over and over and over. So I am going to repeat this line. It's very hard to draw like this, so I definitely recommend a table. If you are, look, I left a little space there. I actually kind of like it. If you are one of my students from school, you know that we studied a really cool artist who does this kind of work named Jen Stark. You could check her out. Again, I don't really have anything that I can show you at my house, except for me and my art. Do you notice that when I repeated, it changed a little bit? That happens. If you were in my classroom, I would have you look at the letter R, which is for repetition. Sort of like music, you're creating a beat. And what happens is it sort of changes. So maybe this time I want to change it, okay? Now you might get kind of like in what we call the flow of this, relaxing and making your lines. Maybe I'm making these a little bit thicker, right? But you might be like, I'm kind of sick of this one. So maybe I'll just make a shape and then a design inside. And slowly I'm getting lost in it. It kind of reminds me of the idea of calming my body and breathing slowly and centering my energy. Because that's the thing about art. When we create, we get really calm. That's why I think art's magic. I really do. Okay, now you could, if you want, switch materials. I can't believe I'm using a Sharpie in the bedroom, but I am. Really fun. Looking good? Now, as I work, I could be really happy, or I could start be like, oh, I'm frustrated. And now's a time where we really kind of have to be able to stretch that flexible muscle in general. I want you to think about sticking with it. Maybe you need to turn your paper. Do you see how it totally changes? So all these things that we're making, this is called abstract art. If you were in my classroom, you'd look at the letter A, it would say abstract. And there's a picture, and it kind of looks like this. It's not a picture of a teddy bear. It's not a picture of a kitty. It's not a picture of a sunset. No, it's sort of like kind of a bunch of colors and shapes. It's a bunch of lines. And then you're sort of like, what is that? Is it a flower? Is it a house? I don't know. And that's what abstract means. It means, I don't know. Just a bunch of beautiful things put together. So now I'm thinking about line. Now, through the magic of YouTube, I've prepared this one for you. So I started to play with all the things we know about crayon shading and dot work and lots of repetition. You could just keep going. You could leave it like that. Or, as we know, some of my lucky duckies have paint. And you can paint. That's fun. Now, at some point, we're going to have a conversation about our colors. I do want to show you what's happening in my daughter's room. Let's see if I know how to fix this. Yeah, because when I made this, and you might be able to tell, this is like our rainbow space. A lot of rainbows in here. Artists, we call those the color wheel. And they usually live in a circle. I like to say they're like neighbors. A lot of friends know this. In fact, one of my classes helped me figure out how to make a color wheel of neighbors. We could do that together, right? So the idea here, when we think about color, is who lives next door to each other. So I started with a little, oops, hold on one second, a little purple. We could have purple live here. Could even make it a house, right? Who lives next door to purple? Blue, right? Oh, it's gonna be so drippy. Who lives next door to blue? Green. This is a very silly looking house I'm making. You could even make your own color wheel today. Ooh, why are the houses getting smaller? I don't know. I don't know. And as I work, I'm thinking about the rainbow. Now ooh, that doesn't look just right. Hold on. Have you ever painted on a bed? Let me tell you, I don't recommend it. Okay, so they are across the street. They're like, hi, how are you? Sort of reminds me of how I set up my classroom. Now, if you are one of my students, another fun activity I was thinking you could do is draw the art room. But if you don't go to my school, oh my goodness, you could even paint your classroom or draw your classroom or make a map. So this is a very silly color wheel. I think I can take it off this silly tray. But as I work, I'm thinking about all these colors. So I just painted with purple to have it blend. Who's next door? Oh, a little bit of pink. A little bit of red. Red's my favorite. So I'm gonna do that next. And you can see how they blend so nicely together. So much fun. My friends, today is kind of a little bit shorter because there's so many different things that we can do. We can make a color wheel. I'm gonna work on this one. We can draw all our lines. Remember how I started this one? I'm gonna finish painting this one. Or if you want, you could just do your lines into a shape. What a challenge would that be if I just did straight lines in different sizes and shapes? We call that our letter V, variety. Variety, like, oh, I want a variety of candy on Halloween. I don't just want one kind of candy. I want all the different kinds. It's the same thing. So it's like, this is one line, but I'm just gonna keep repeating it over and over in different ways. Diagonal, horizontal, vertical. Oh, I got a wiggle there. Fun times. If you are one of my 5th grade students, great job sitting in a chair. If you are one of my new students, I'm so glad you're here. And to all of my friends who sent pictures yesterday, I'm feeling really, really excited about that. Now, here's my suggestion today. I would take this off and I would find a podcast, if you can, with your grown-up. My friends know my favorite is called Circle Round, and it's all folk tales from around the world. And fun fact, my students taught me about that because one of their mummies worked on it for a long time. That's my favorite thing to listen to as I work. And we have nice calm bodies and we draw. And as we draw, we feel the flow. You're finding your energy, sort of like my 2nd grade students and I talked about Star Wars. You gotta use the Force when you're working with art. It means you're taking all that energy and letting it flow. Can you find the Force in your artwork? Can you feel all the friends from your school doing this project? So I hope I'll see you here tomorrow. Please send me all your pictures. I'm so grateful for the people who did. Major shout out for all my friends. I see you. I am so glad you're here. And don't forget, we're friends now. We are friends for life. So thank you so much, artists. And oh, I'm told I'm supposed to say something like subscribe below. I don't really understand this YouTube world because, I don't know, kind of feel like it's just not something that's new. It's not something that's regular for me. It feels very new. That was a mistake. You hear it? We make them. We all do. So friends, I'm so glad you're here. Subscribe below. Follow me on Instagram. Art is Elementary. That didn't feel natural. We all try new things, you know? What can I say? Anyways, I love you all so much. I'm so glad you're here. Let's make some art. Let's have some fun. Think about all the different ways you can create today. And I love you.